Hi students. So today we are going to discuss that is the polymer. The lecture number is 30 and the module is 4. Already we have started the polymer chapter and today is a continuation of the chapter. So these are the some of the course objectives that we have. The course name, the subject name is chemistry, and the subject code is CH101 or 201. The credit is 3, contact hour is 35. Okay. These are the some of the course objectives that we have for our course. These are the some of the course outcome that we have designed. Okay. Uh, Okay, so this is the lecture plan of the polymer that we have 3 lectures. So next, yeah, so this is the objectives of today's class. So today we are going to discuss that is the classification based on the thermal response. In last day, in previous week, already we have seen that classification of the polymer is very important. Okay, and it is a it is a first topic that we will discuss. Okay, and today just some of the portion again we will discuss, that is based on the thermal response. Next we will discuss about the classification of polymer, which is based on the ducticity, and some of the classifications also we will see, which is based on the intermolecular forces. Yeah, so this is the recapitulation of our previous class, as this is the continuation of the previous class. So you should remember whatever I have taught in the previous class, that is the definition of polymer, the some of the characteristics I have seen, some of the structural features we have seen also for the polymer, and the classification. Generally, polymers, what are the polymers? Polymers are the giant molecules for which we have the monomers, the repeating unit, that is the monomers. So many monomers molecules will attach with each other and it will form the polymers. So that's why for these structural features, we have some of the characteristics, special characteristics for the polymer, and these are the some of the special characteristics, that is low density, good corrosion resistance, good moldability, excellent surface finish, can be produced with close dimensional tolerance, very economical, poor tensile strength, low mechanical properties. So these are the some of the characteristic properties which is based on the structural features of the polymer, and which is for which the polymer is so much important for our life. Yeah, these are the some of the structural features. So already I have told you key monomer units, the repetition of the monomer units that is forming the polymer molecules. Like here I have given one example, that is a styrene molecule. We have so many in number of styrene molecule will attach with each other, and in presence of heat, or in presence of light, or in presence of catalyst, any type of catalyst, the polymerization reaction will take place, and we will finally have the polystyrene moiety. Okay, this is a large giant molecule, and this is the polymer. So generally the molecular weight of the polymer can be determined by the product of the molecular weight of the repeating units, molecular weight of the monomers. Okay, so in case if the polymers having the molecular weight in the range of 1000 to 20,000, so that polymer is called by the low polymers, and if it is higher than 20,000, that is called by the high polymers. Yeah, this is the classification of polymers, which is very important for your exam. Okay, so you have to remember, if you have from this portion like this question, classify polymers based on structure. based on source, or classify the polymers in detail. So that time you have to write down total classifications with the examples. If you don't write the example, then you can get the full marks. Okay, so with the examples you have to write down the each and every classifications. Okay, so based on source, generally polymers are of some of the types, like we can classify the polymers based on source, based on structure, based on reaction mode, like it is addition reaction or condensation reaction, based on intermolecular forces. Again we have based on tacticity, which we will see today. Okay, tacticity, tacticity based on thermal response, which we have thermoplastic and thermosetting, that we have seen already in our yesterday class. Okay, so these are the some of the classification for the polymers. Based on source, generally we have natural polymer, semi-synthetic polymer and synthetic polymer. Based on structure, we have linear polymers, branched polymer and cross-linked polymer. Based on reaction mode, as I told you, that is we have the addition polymer, condensation polymer. Based on monomers, we have the homopolymers and copolymers. Okay, and based on the molecular forces, that is we have elastomers, fibers and plastics, that already we have seen in the previous class. Okay, so these are the some of the based on source. This is the natural polymers, some of the examples of natural polymer we have. So from this portion, generally you can have give some examples of natural polymer. What do you mean by natural polymer? How polymer can be classified based on the source? So these are the some of the types of questions that generally very frequently you are asked in your exam. So cotton, wood, okay, silk, rubber, natural rubber, protein. So these are all the natural polymers. Now, if we modify the natural polymers for our benefits, so that is called by semi-synthetic polymer. Okay, like cellulose acetate, cellulose nitrate, viscose or rayon. So these are all the some of the semi-synthetic polymer, which is natural polymer, but we have modified into our lab to enrich their some of the properties. That is called semi-synthetic, and these are the some of the examples of purely synthetic polymers, that is like polyethylene, high density polyethylene, PET bottles. Okay, then polyester, nylons, so the polystyrene. So these are the some of the polymers that we are using in our regular life, and that is obviously the synthetic polymer. Okay, now polymer can be classified based on the structure. One is linear, one is branched and one is cross-linked. You can see linear polymer means the monomers are joined linearly. The linear chain, they are forming linear chain. No other branches are forming. Okay, so this is the linear polymer, like polyethylene. Next, the branched polymer. Branched polymer, while the linear chain having this type of branching, so this is called branched polymer. And cross-linked polymer, while these branching are interconnected, while these are the linear chain, and all this you can see, all these linear chains are interconnected. Okay, so they are forming a three-dimension picture, a three-dimension network. Okay, network like structure they are forming. This is called cross-linked polymer. Cross-linked polymers are generally hard and rigid and brittle because of their of this network structure, like bakelite. Okay, formaldehyde resin, bakelite is the example, perfect example of cross-linked polymer. Next, based on polymer, generally we are having, that is that is homopolymer. Homopolymer, the monomers are the same. Okay, and copolymers, while the monomers are the different, like styrene, butadiene, rubber. SBr is the copolymer, and polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, these are all the examples of the homopolymer. Okay, copolymer also can be divided into four. four categories, that is random, which is the based on the arrangement of the monomers. If the monomers are arranged randomly, that is the random. If the monomers are alternate, like monomer A B like this, so this is called alternate copolymers. If the monomers are like block, they are forming like block like structures, this is called block polymers, copolymers. And if the graft if the polymer monomer chain will be grafted to the other monomer chain, that is called graft copolymer. So up to this we have already discussed. Now this is the today's topic, that is the thermal response. Based on the thermal response, the polymers are generally two type. One is thermoplastic, one is thermosetting. Okay, so thermoplastic polymer, how can we define? Thermoplastic polymers are generally what if we use the heat, if we heat that polymer, what will happen? It will melt it and mold it again. And if we remove that heating, what will happen? It will again stiff, it will become stiff. Okay, so uh, whatever the polymers will show this type of nature, that is called by thermoplastic polymer. Okay, generally what will happen, a plastic material which can be repeatedly melted and molded again and again by simple heating, that is called by thermoplastic. Thermoplastics become soft and moldable on heating. If we remove the heat, what will happen? Cool down, then they will become stiff. On cooling, the thermoplastic polymers materials become hardened. Okay, so hard. The different types of thermoplastic like polyethylene, polypropylene, okay, plastics, polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, these are the all examples of the thermoplastic polymers. Okay. Okay, now thermosetting polymer. Thermosetting polymer generally this type of polymer where in this type of polymer we can see the three-dimension network structure. They are very hard due to their structure. So if we like backlight, this is a backlight structure. Okay, if we hit this backlight, what will happen? This network structure will prevent to melt, to melt or mold. Okay, so this material cannot be repeatedly melted or molded again, and this is called by thermosetting polymers. Okay, this network structure, actually this crosslink prevent displacement of the polymer chains on heating. Thus, thermosetting plastics do not become soft on heating. They do not change their shape on heating due to their network structure. Okay, so bakelite is one of the example of thermosetting plastic. If we use high heat, that time what will happen? The network structure will destroy. So that time the polymer will be destroyed. The bonds will be the bond breaking will take place. Okay, so this is called thermosetting polymer. Now, this is very common question. Differentiate between thermoplastic polymer and thermosetting polymer. Okay, so this is the differences between thermoplastic and thermosetting. Thermoplastic polymers are generally formed by the addition polymerization. If we have some of the examples like polyethylene, PVC, polystyrene, these are all the examples of thermoplastic polymer, which is which is forming by the addition polymerization reaction. And thermosetting polymer, they are generally networks, they are having the network structure, so they are forming by the condensation polymerization reaction. Okay, generally thermoplastic contains long chain, linear chain, and held together by the very weak van der Waals force. For the thermoplastic polymers, we have very weak bond. So that is why they are very they are become soft, they are becoming soft in presence of heat. It is very easy to be soft in presence of heat for their due to their weak van der Waal interaction forces. But for the thermosetting plastic, what will happen, we have the network structure. That is why it is a strong covalent bonds. The monomers are joined with each other, the atoms are joined with each other with the strong covalent bond. It is very difficult to break that bond, understand? So that is why they are not soft on heating. Usually become soften on heating and stiffen on cooling, but it does not happen into for the thermosetting plastic. The thermoplastics are very expensive, but thermosetting plastics are very cheap. Thermoplastic is soluble in organic solvents, and thermosetting plastics are generally insoluble in organic solvents. Okay, so they are usually soft, weak, and less brittle. But thermo setting plastics, as I told you, due to the network structure, they are hard, strong, and brittle in nature. Okay, they can be remolded, they cannot be remolded. An example of thermoplastic is polyethylene, and bakelite is one example of the thermosetting polymer. So these are the some of the differences between thermoplastic and thermosetting polymer, which is very important, because very frequently you are asked that differentiate between thermoplastic or thermosetting polymer. What are the special features that we have for the thermoplastic polymer or thermosetting polymer? Or from this portion you can have this type of question also. On heating, thermoplastic becomes soft, but on heating, thermosetting cannot be soft. So explain why. So that time you have to explain by the van der Waal weak force, weak van der Waal force in between the monomers of the thermoplastic polymer, and for thermosetting polymer we have the strong covalent bond. So by this you have to explain. Okay. Okay, next we will discuss about the classification of polymers, which is based on the tacticity. So tacticity, generally what will happen, there are three types of polymers we have. One is isotactic, one is syntactic, and one is atactic polymer. For isotactic polymer, what will happen, the side groups are lying in the same side of the chain. They are maintaining some periodicity in the structure. Okay, that is called isotactic. Syndiotactic polymer also, the side groups are the alternative position, at the alternative position. You can see here the red, all the red atoms are at the same side. So this is isotactic. The red atoms are in the alternate position. So this is called syndiotactic. Okay, and atactic polymer, what will happen, the you cannot specify what will be the position of the red. At some time it will be alternate, at some time it will be in the same position. So this is random, the arrangement will be the random. So this is called atactic polymer. Okay, so this is another representation of the polymer, another representation of the tacticity, isotactic, syntactic, and atactic polymer. Look here, all the methyl groups are in the same side, right? So for this structure, but for this polymer will be, must be called by the isotactic polymer, right? And here you can see all the methyl groups are maintaining the same alternate position. At the alternate position we have the methyl groups. So this is called syndiotactic polymer. But for atactic polymer, what will happen, the methyl group, you cannot specify where will be the methyl group. In some time, at some time it will be in the alternate position, or it can be a say in the same position, that we cannot specify. So these are the three types of polymers we have, which is mainly based on the tacticity. The functional groups, yeah, For isotactic, the functional groups are the same side of the skeleton. For syntactic, the functional groups will be at the alternate fashion, and for atactic, the functional groups will be at the in a random manner. Okay, so this is also very important portion. Okay, from this portion you can have this type of question ki, based on tacticity, what are the types of polymers that we have? Give some examples. With the help of structural diagram, just explain the isotactic polymer, syntactic polymer and atactic polymer. So these type of some of the questions that you can have from this portion in your exam. Okay, now the last one that we will discuss, that is based on the polymers can be classified based on intermolecular attraction forces. Okay, so there are three types of polymers. We have elastomers, fibers and plastics. Okay, so okay, what are the elastomers? Generally, elastomers, what will happen? Elastomers are the monomers are joined with each other with a very weak bond, weak intermolecular forces. For what? It can be stressed. Okay, in this polymer, the chains are held together by very weak intermolecular force, which permit the polymers to be stretched like this. After the stretching, this will be the polymer, and again if the polymer will be recoiling, so this will be the structure. Okay, like solids with elastic properties. This weak binding force permit the polymer to be stressed. The examples are like Buna-S, Buna-N, neoprene. So these are the all examples of the elastomers. Generally, the polymer that can regain its original shape, that is called by elastomers. Examples are, as I told you, polyisoprene, polybutadiene. These are the some of the examples of elastomers. Okay, this is polyisoprene. After the isoprene, if we have the monomer isoprene, if we use the Ziegler-Natta catalyst, so after the polymerization we are having the polyisoprene. So this is absolutely the one type of elastomers. Okay, plastics. Next we have the plastic. Now we know all we use in our regular life, what the plastic materials. Okay, there are so many different types of plastic materials that we use. You can see in the picture. Polymer is shaped into hard and tough utility articles by the application of heat and pressure. It is used as a plastic. The intermolecular force, actually for the plastic materials, the intermolecular force between the monomers will be intermediate. That means moderate. It is in between elastomer and in between fiber. Okay. So it is called by the intermediate position between the elastomers and fibers. So they are partially crystalline. They are mostly held by the weak van der Waals attraction force or dipole-dipole interaction. Okay, so these are the some of the example like polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, polymethylene, methyl acrylate. Okay, so methyl acrylate. So these are the some of the examples that examples of plastic materials. So here also you can see that is low density polyethylene, polyvinyl chloride, high density polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, PET bottles. Okay, polyethylene terephthalate, PET bottles. Whatever water bottles we are having, that is the PET, PET, polyethylene terephthalate. This is the composition of the plastic bottles. So these are the all types of plastics that we use in our regular life. So these are the examples. Okay, next, again, these are the, I have given some of the examples like PET bottles, polypropylene, polystyrene, PVC. Why we, in which cases we use these polymers that I have given. Okay, so high density polyethylene, then polyaniline, polyamide. Okay, so what are the examples and types of the plastic and application, their application I have given, you can see. And these are the some of the hard plastic, that is epoxy resin. Okay, hard plastic, polyurethane, phenolic phenol formaldehyde resins like bakelite. Okay, furan resin. So these are the some of the hard plastic that we have, and also I have given some of the applications regularly we are using. They have a vast application in our regular life. Okay, okay, now lastly, that is the fibers. So these polymers possess high tensile strength and are used in making fibers. Fibers are generally long strain, having the long strain. This is due to the strong internuclear force like hydrogen bonding. We have, for the fiber molecules, we have the hydrogen bonding, strong hydrogen bonding. For example, like nylon 6,6, nylon 6 have polymeric chains, a straight chain. Okay, they are held together by a strong intermolecular forces like hydrogen bonding. These strong forces also lead to close packing of chains and thus impart the crystalline nature. So fibers having some of the crystalline, to some extent the higher crystalline structure than that of the plastic materials. Okay, fibers are thread like structure, long structure, as I told you, thread forming solids which possess high tensile strength and high modulus. Example like polyamides, nylon 6,6. Okay, polyesters. So these are the all examples of the fibers. Generally fibers are of two types, one is natural fiber and one is synthetic fiber. So these are the some of the examples of natural fibers like cotton, linen, wool, silk. These all fibers we are getting from the nature, like flax, hemp, kenna fiber, jute fiber. Okay, bagasse fibers. See, so they are all the natural fibers. And these are the some of the synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers generally like rayon, nylon, polyesters, like terylene, PET, acrylic. So they are generally, these fibers are generally using for making the clothes. Okay, so here also you can see these are the rayons, that is the artificial silk, that is polyester, acrylic, nylon. These are the nylons. So these are the some of the synthetic fibers also we use in our daily life. Okay, so this is the whole topic of today's class. Now I have given one question, how much you have understood, how much you have got from the today's session. To check this, I have given one question, that is give one example of thermosetting polymer. Okay, so for that you will have the 10-second time. Your time starts now. Yeah, so your time is over, and you are absolutely right. One thermosetting polymer is bakelite. Generally, we are using this bakelite polymer to make the switchboard. Okay, because as this bakelite is very hard, so that is why thermosetting polymer. Why generally thermosetting polymers are so much hard? Because of their network structure. Okay, the structural features they have, like all the linear chains are interlinked between each other, and they are held together with a strong covalent bond, and which is very difficult to break. That is why the thermosetting polymers are very hard, brittle, and that is why on heating they cannot be soft. So thermoplastic polymer and thermosetting polymer, these are the very important topics. Very frequently you are asked in your exam that differentiate between thermoplastic and thermosetting polymer. That time you have to first write down the definition, then you must write the structural differences, the bonding differences. Okay, thermoplastic, for the thermoplastic polymer, what will happen, they are held together by very weak van der Waals force, but for thermosetting polymer they are held together by the strong intermolecular forces, that is the covalent bond. Okay, so these are the some of the differences that we have for the thermoplastic and thermosetting polymer. So next day we will discuss again the classification of the polymers based on the polymerization reactions. Okay, so this is a recapitulation whatever we have discussed today, that is a classification based on thermal response we have discussed. Next, classification based on tacticity we have discussed, and classification based on intermolecular forces also we have discussed. Okay, so please follow the classes very well, because from this polymer chapter there are so many questions you can have in your exam. So this is very important chapter, and polymer is very important for our life also. So because as we are using regularly so many polymers, so please follow the classes, students, and do the assignments in time. So thank you, students, and have a safe day.